that was like one of the biggest things I had to learn. I'm like, you have to learn to live with yourself. I love being by myself.
Yeah.
People keep asking me, they're like, you don't have a job lined up after graduation. I'm like, nope. And then they look at me like I'm a psychopath.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lifestyle Diaries. As you see here today, we have a really big setup, a lot of things going on. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit later, but I'm joined by a really special guest here today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, guys. My name is Ava Vushaj. I am 21 years old. I go to Michigan State. I teach yoga. Yeah, that's
Awesome.
a little summary.
Okay, awesome. Ava, thank you so much for being here today. Getting right into it, Lifestyle Diaries are all about like kind of uncovering the secrets of people's lives. What are you all about? What do you do? And being a student, I guess, can you give me a little glimpse into like what a day in the life for you looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So being a student, I actually am graduating very shortly in about a few weeks.
Senior.
Yeah,
Okay.
a senior. So day in the life, typically on a school day, I'll wake up, get my stuff done, face routine, whatever. Fill out my 5-minute journal. That's something that's super important to me. 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things you're looking forward to, and some daily affirmations. And then right from there, typically eat something real quick, get ready for the gym or yoga, head off to do that. My schedule's been very lenient this semester. So.
Lenient this semester?
Yeah.
Why has it been lenient? Like are you low on classes? Like what's
Yeah, I'm low on classes, and I scheduled all of them in the afternoon.
all of them in the afternoon?
Yeah, so I have my mornings to myself, which I love.
Okay, that's awesome. So would you say you're a morning person then?
Yes, definitely more than a night person. I feel like I go through phases.
You go through phases. Okay, can you talk about like why you're more of a morning person? Like for me personally, I'm much more of a night person. That just works for me better.
Yeah.
But why mornings?
I feel like I'm more of a morning person because, well, right off the get-go, if I'm up past like 10 o'clock, if I wake up past 10 o'clock, my entire day just feels ruined. I feel like I've wasted over half of my day. And I don't know, I just feel so much more productive. People ask why I work out in the morning. It's because it's so much harder to get to the gym or get to wherever you're going later in the day.
I noticed that gyms are way like less crowded in the morning too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's also another thing, especially being up here in East Lansing. The gyms
there's
are
so
like a
many
zoo.
people.
Past 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, if you're trying to get in there, might as well just not go.
Yeah.
Unless you're walking on the treadmill. But even that sometimes is just not it.
So like talking about working out in the morning, what do you usually do? Like do you have like
In
specific
terms of my workout.
Yeah, like your workout. Like what does that look like?
So I actually have a trainer right now. It's my cousin's husband, so still family.
Okay.
But he wrote up a plan for me. In the summertime, I was just at a point. I'd been doing yoga for like a solid year and a half, and I'm like just not happy with my body. I'm like, I just need to like become lean again. So he wrote up like a plan for me. I started tracking my calories, which was one thing that I was like super against at first. And then when I started doing it, I'm like, this is really not that bad because, yeah, the food system in America is just messed up.
Yeah.
That's the conversation.
How are you able to stay consistent with that? Like tracking calories, that almost seems like a daily like.
It is a daily thing. And it was super difficult at first, like weighing your food. And at first, like the first like few weeks I didn't do it. I told him, I was like, I'm not tracking my calories. I'm like, I think this is such BS because I had done it before like a few years ago. And I drove myself crazy. It never ended up with like an eating disorder or anything, thank God. But a lot of people, I would look at it as like, I only get like this many calories as opposed to like, I get this many calories to get like to where I want to be. And I can still function fully with like this amount of calories. That's how we like, oops.
You're good.
I feel like in terms of like tracking calories, it's more of like how we wire our brains. Because I think about like how many calories I'm eating.
Behind it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
like how many I'm eating right now versus how many I was eating before. Like I think about it. I'm like, how was I eating that much? Because our bodies can function off of so little. It's kind of really just what we tell our brains.
You just reminded me of something. Are you into fasting at all? Did you ever try that? You said bodies can survive off so little. Like I was just thinking about it. Like when you fast, you don't. I mean, some people like there's different types of fasting, but like you're really not consuming that much.
So it's funny you say that. 2 days ago, I just got off of a 45-hour water fast.
45-hour. Wait, hold on. That's like 1.5, 3 days or something.
That's almost 2 days. Yeah, 3 hours short of 2 days. I started it. I think his name is Dana White. he was doing like, he did like a 7-day.
Like the UFC.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did like a 7-day water cleanse, but
Yeah.
he was incorporating like bone broth, which is technically breaking the fast, but it worked for him. And a lot of like great things happened to him. But I did it. Today's Friday. I started Monday night and I went all day Tuesday. And then Wednesday around 6:00, I had to eat something. I had an exam the next day. And then what was it? It was Tuesday night. I could not sleep.
Okay.
And like that was one thing for me. I was doing it with one of my cousins actually back home. And he was like, I can't believe you like dropped out of the challenge. But I'm like,
wait, was the original goal 2 days, like 48?
it was 72 hours.
Oh, 72.
It was until last night.
Yeah.
But and then like I realized I was talking to him like I value my sleep over like anything else, and that also goes along
Sleep
with
is so
me being a
important,
morning
too.
person. Yeah. And I was so hungry, so I just went to bed. I was like 9:30. I was in bed. Normally I go to bed at like 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
On a like if I'm being good. And
that's really early, by the way.
It is,
in my opinion.
It is early. I used to be a night owl, but not anymore. I went to bed at like 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
Woke up and I heard like my roommate playing his video games, and I'm like, what time? Like there's no way I only slept like an hour. I wake up, it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, great. What do they call it? Bright eye, bushy tail.
Yeah.
I'm like ready to conquer the day. Like I wish it was light outside. I would have left my like apartment because I was just so like I wasn't well rested. I just couldn't like lay in bed anymore. I also couldn't go in the kitchen because I was so hungry.
How do you feel after your fast? Like I've never done. I feel like I may have accidentally fasted for that long.
Yeah.
But not like actually tried to fast for that long. How do you
It
feel?
was definitely
Like rate the experience.
rate the experience. Well, let me finish my story first. I didn't end up falling asleep until 6:00.
Okay.
And that's just bizarre. Woke up at like 10 and then I just felt like garbage all day until I ate again. I truly do believe it's very different for guys to do. Like for males. So
That's a whole talking point too. Wow.
yeah, women have like so many, like our hormones fluctuate so much more. And that's kind of like what I pulled from it. I'll definitely try it again. And I know some girl that's doing it. She actually just started it today. So, and she's incorporating some like supplements before she goes to bed,
Yeah.
which I like noticed. She posted it today. So I was like, okay, maybe I just didn't do enough. I think I was doing like male-based research, if that makes sense. Like I was looking at like how Dana White did it and how like this guy did it and this guy did it. But like, yeah, I mean like the male and female bodies are so complex, but they're also so different in so many different ways.
No, that's so important that you bring that up actually, because like one thing here we talk about at Lifestyle Diaries is like how each and every person has like a different body, a different like lifestyle, different journey, right? So it's important knowing like what works for you. So I think that's really cool. So like going forward, are you gonna like approach it differently, you think?
Absolutely. If I do it again, I'm gonna approach it completely differently. And I thought I did enough research. I was gonna start it initially Monday morning. But I'm like, I need to like, there are a few more things I need to figure out like before I just completely cut food out. And I was so exhausted. I had some bone broth Wednesday evening to break it, and I felt like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
And there was no like change on the scale, that's not what I was going for. It was kind of just like, because they say like you get like new blood cells, like it kind of flushes out all the old ones. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's good insight. Have you ever looked at different like diets? Like I guess I'm curious more on the nutrition aspect, because that's not where like I guess my specialty like lies in. Like I played sports growing up, like worked out, stuff like that, but nutrition was always just like food is food type of thing. Like it's fuel, but it's also like I'm just gonna eat.
Yeah.
But it is really important. So like, did you ever like explore anything like that, like different nutrition styles? I don't know. Like what makes a good like
a good meal?
Yeah, I guess a good meal.
Like a really like good meal.
Good meal.
Perfect balance between higher protein, and then a lot of people will do keto. That works for some people, but doesn't work for others.
That means like high in fat, right?
Yeah, high in fat.
Okay.
And then the one thing I learned, especially like if you're trying to like stay lean and like not gain weight, your fats and your carbs cannot be high. And then
Carbs cannot be high.
both of them together. Like let's just say like avocado toast, that's like super contradictory because it's literally just a piece of bread, a lot of carbs, a lot of like,
I love avocado toast though.
it's so good.
And like,
It's so good.
yeah, and
a lot,
like season it or like
yeah.
put like honey or
A
something.
lot of good fats on top, but then there's also like no protein because you have an egg. What's that?
Yeah,
7 grams protein.
that's true.
But yeah, high protein. I think especially, I don't know what your main audience is. It's good for men and women. Obviously, if you're trying to like build and maintain muscle, but women are supposed to have like 25 to 30 grams of protein with every meal.
No, I say this thing called like prioritize protein.
Yeah.
Like whenever anyone asks me like any nutrition advice, I just say like make sure you get enough protein before anything else.
And that's what's going to keep you full throughout the day. And that's that's like your main energy source. I think personally, they always say it is like your carbs or your fat. But if you don't have any protein, you're just going to feel hungry all day. And who wants to feel like that?
Exactly.
So.
Cool. Can you talk to me a little bit about your fitness journey? Like where did you start, I guess? And where are you at now? And are there other plans for the future? Like what does that look like? For me, I said like I played sports growing up, right? So that's kind of like a natural transition just to me, like working out, like taking care of my health and fitness now. Now it's like an integral part of my routine, I would say.
Yeah.
What is it? What does that look like for you?
So I started in first grade. I think I started playing basketball. I played basketball my entire life up until sophomore year of high school.
Is this in Michigan or?
Michigan, yeah.
Okay.
I live, I'm not too far away from
Michigan.
And then I also played volleyball during like my first to like 8th grade, or I think I started in like 5th grade. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And then
sometime
high
in
school, I played volleyball, basketball, and lacrosse. I was like a 3-sport athlete.
Okay.
And at the end of my junior year, I played basketball and I like wanted to play tennis. Or, I'm sorry, forgive me. It was my freshman year. I was like, I want to play tennis instead of lacrosse. And my athletic director, she came up to me. She was like, Ava, you can't. Like, we need your legs for basketball. Like, you're going to, you know what I mean? She was like, you're not going to like get a lot of strength playing tennis.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine. I'll play lacrosse.
Yeah.
I ended up doing like really well. I got pulled up my first year.
Nice.
And it was
pulled up to varsity.
Yeah.
Nice.
We went to a really small school, so it was an accomplishment,
That's still like,
but it was nothing.
come on.
Yeah,
That's
nothing
still an accomplishment.
crazy.
Yeah.
And my junior year, we were playing, and I'm just running with the ball. It was like my best game. Yeah, I think I had like 6 or 7 goals. Slid, tore my ACL in both of my meniscuses.
No, both of them?
No, just my one knee.
Okay.
They thought it was just my ACL. I had like my captain band like on my leg. My leg is just like blowing up. The trainer walks over. She was like straighten it. I was like, I can't straighten it. She picks it up, pops back into place. I was like, great. Literally dislocated my knee too.
Did you like know what was happening in the like? How was that moment? Like, do you remember how that feels?
I just like remember like being on the floor, and I don't cry a lot.
Yeah.
Which is one thing I'm trying to work on. That's a different story. But my like teammates come up to me. They're like, Ava, get up. I'm like, I can't get off right now.
Yeah.
Like
it's like something's weird. Like, cause I had a similar experience with soccer actually, where I experienced I tore my MCL, in my right knee, and I just like couldn't get up. Like it was weird.
I had no idea what was going on. My dad had torn his ACL like so many years back, so I knew it had run in the family, and then my sister partially tore hers, my older sister.
Yeah.
But she was still playing sports, doing whatever. But yeah, so and then I couldn't work out, couldn't do anything. Ended up having surgery a few months later because we had a vacation planned. So obviously you can work like physical therapy. You could still walk after a torn ACL. You just can't do like jumping, strenuous hikes.
Yeah.
As they said. So I got my surgery, and it took me, I think, about like 4 months before I was able to run again. I don't even like running, but I was like like when I like started running, I was like.
But yeah, the ability to know, it's like so cool. It's like when you can't do something and then you can do it later. Yeah. It's just like it's freeing.
And that's what this is like total like sub note. But when I teach my yoga classes, it's like moving your body is not it's not a chore. It's like it's a privilege that you're able to. It's a privilege that you're able to.
That's so true, because like some people they just can't. Like imagine like hopefully like if someone's like this, like hopefully it doesn't happen anyone time soon is what I'm trying to say. But like if you're like wheelchair bound or something like that, it's like you actually can't. So enjoy it while you have it. Yeah. Same thing with like just being young in general. Like
exactly.
Enjoy the energy and like fitness that we have now.
Mm-hmm. And it's a blessing to be able, like I say this all the time. People in my yoga classes are like consistent, probably get so annoyed at me saying this. I'm like, it's literally like when you think about it, it's such a blessing to be able to get out of bed every single day by yourself. Simply just get out of bed. Yeah. Like put your own clothes on. You know what I mean? Jump in the shower by yourself without assistance. Like that's so much of a bigger blessing that we don't understand because we've never been like concealed of that.
So like
That's the right word.
Like, does that kind of play into you kind of, sometimes you need the bad in order to recognize the good.
Exactly.
And also you don't know what you had until you lost it, something like that.
Absolutely. Like if we, like being on crutches for like 2 months, like who knew that walking was such like a privilege?
You gotta like humble yourself real quick. And then it's like, wow.
Like I was so jealous. I'm like, well, I'm like, I wish I could use both of my legs right now.
Yeah.
But so for like, let's go back to my fitness journey. So then I was in physical therapy for like a super long time. And that was like, physical therapy was such like a good life lesson for me because I'm always like on the go, let's do this, let's do that. Hardest workouts, I'm like, I'm there.
That probably forced you to slow down, right?
Absolutely. 110%. Like we would literally like, my knee they would be like, okay, lift it and then go down, lift it, and I have to do that like 30 times, and I'm like, what are
that's
we
such
doing
a
here?
not just a physical thing. Physical therapy should also be called like not mental therapy, but like it's also training your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially like for like someone with like a first time injury like that. So that was, physical therapy taught me a lot. And then like I'd have to like walk for like 10 minutes. I'm like, this is such BS. Like I'm sick of this place. Like my like therapist, they were like the same, or like the techs, they were the same age as me, so they would kind of just let me do my own thing, but they'd be watching. But I learned a lot from that, and then I started, and then COVID hit. So and then I was kind of just working out at home.
Did you like the I guess the whole home workout thing? No. Why not?
I like human interaction. I love human
Like the
interaction.
community aspect of the gym.
I think the community aspect of the gym is why I love the gym so much.
Yeah.
Like seeing familiar faces. Don't get me wrong, I love going into new gyms, but I love being around people that I know. You know what I mean? Like people that you like are consistently seeing, being able to see like other people's growth, talking to other people, listening to other people talk about what I'm talking about right now. Like how they got to like where they are.
That's so cool. And like that's one thing about us, like both being college students, right? That you see all the time. Like, I'll go to like the gyms. You can either go to Powerhouse, Crunch, or whatever you go to, or even like one of the IM gyms, right? And you just see people that you know, and it's kind of, it's so fun and crazy. And it's like the community aspect is a huge aspect for me too. And during COVID, all that was like gone kind of. And it was like online's not the same either.
It definitely helped. Like some people, I know some people that completely like transformed their lives during COVID.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case for me. But like
there's like two different types of people. Some people got into the best shape of their life, or some people got to the worst shape of their life. But it's okay because you keep moving forward.
Yeah. So I went, and like mind you, like I was I was still recovering from my knee injury. So it was kind of just like a lot of walks, a lot of like smaller movements, and then then we're going to like my first year of college, right? It's completely online. I ended up going down to Florida for a few months. Oh, and then I started doing HIIT workouts.
What is HIIT? Can you, like, I don't know if everyone who's watching this would know like HIIT. Like,
yeah, I got you. It's high intensity interval training. It's like the classes were like 30 minutes, and you're doing workouts for like 30 seconds to like a minute, and then you get like super short time off. You get like 10 seconds off, 50 seconds off, or 20 seconds off, and then you go directly into the next workout. And I got into like the best shape of my entire life. Like I would do back-to-back classes.
Back-to-back.
I would go to if I was bored later in the day, I would just go to the gym. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't not maintainable at all.
Wait, why not?
It's very strenuous on your body.
Okay. Hence the name, high intensity.
Yeah, it's very, and I was like looking more into it, and it's keep like talking about like for women, but it's
women. Is it geared towards men?
I think I don't know technically what it's geared to. I think a lot of people use it like for weight loss. Like I don't know, just because it is super high intensity. You're dripping sweat in like such a short period of time. Your heart rate's going up, going down, and that's like. But
you know what that reminds me of though? Like it could be, I feel like HIIT could be a part of someone's workout journey.
Yeah.
It might not be sustainable, right? But that doesn't mean you still can't incorporate it. Whether that's like somehow into your routine, like over like, I don't know, 6 months or a year, or like, let's say you're just starting out and you want to make results really quickly. Like let's say you want to gain or lose a bunch of weight, right?
Yeah.
Like that could be something you go to at the start of your journey, and then you kind of deload
Yeah.
and like make more sustainable like fitness efforts like later on, right?
Yeah. I think if I were to incorporate it back in my routine now, it would only be like a once or twice a week thing,
Once or twice a week.
max.
Yeah.
I was doing it like 4 or 5 times a week.
That might have been overkill.
It was, but I was in like, I was loving it.
That's
Like,
good. Like,
I
at least you
literally,
liked
I like almost had like a full set of abs. Never in my entire life. I'm like, this is
That's
awesome.
awesome.
But
It's so good that you liked it. Like, what makes you attracted to fitness besides for like the community and just like, can you describe to me, like, because some people can't get into it. They're like, it's such a big like mental barrier, or it's like, I just don't like working out. Like,
Yeah.
Why do you like fitness?
I think it's, well, when you think about it, like going back to when we were talking about like our bodies, you know what I mean? Like it's like we have like, we're so honored to like be able to move our bodies. Like our bodies are temples, you know what I mean? Like that, like this is what we're going to have for the rest of our lives. And if we're not taking care of it now, you know what I mean? No, nobody else is going to take care of it. Nothing comes without health. Like if
Health is wealth.
health is wealth.
Yeah.
If you're not healthy, and I read this somewhere, they're like, you could be like in the greatest place in the entire world with like all like the best people, and you have a paper cut on your hand. What are you gonna be thinking about the entire time?
Paper cut.
The damn paper cut on your
Or
hand.
even like someone could offer you like $1 trillion, not $1 billion or $1 million, $1 trillion. But if you can't like walk or wake up tomorrow, it's
Yeah.
like what's the point?
Exactly. Just got chills. But it's yeah, health is wealth. It's not something. It's something that everybody should be doing for their own well-being. And that's just simple as that. It's not easy. Anyone that says like going to the gym consistently or working out consistently is easy is lying.
Yeah. No, there's phases to it, just like everything.
With everything. Yeah. And it's like working out is one thing, but it's also the food that you're eating, so like what you're putting into your body.
And it might even, like, it's more than that too. It's like the sleep you're getting. It's like sometimes just like the it's called like inputs or like things you're consuming. Like, it's like music,
everything.
What you're reading,
yeah,
like,
what you're reading, what you're watching.
Yeah, it's a holistic.
The people that you're with, and it's everything goes into that. So yeah, forgot the exact question you asked.
No, it's good. We've been kind of like rambling a little bit here, but I like it.
Yeah, that's health is just like without health you don't have anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like a firm believer in that. And
Yeah, I believe it too.
Yeah, because also then you think about it, like you hear bad news about someone in your family, like oh, this person's sick, and it's like
everything else disappears.
Everything else, yeah. And it's, if we could do our best to prevent like ourselves like being sick in the future right now, like while we have the energy, being young, while we have like all the resources around us, why not do it?
Exactly.
Because we're lazy, because you're tired.
Like, come on,
get your ass off.
Get off the couch.
No, literally. And it's
funny because we're on a couch right now.
Yeah, but everyone has days like this morning was so tough. I stayed up until 2 a.m. watching Hell's Kitchen. I started it yesterday. I'm ending.
Coming from the morning person who sleeps really early.
And my alarm was set for 7:30. It's like 8:15, 8:30.
Yeah.
Like I really need to get up and get my butt to yoga.
Yeah.
So I eventually got up, but it's not easy. But it's things that you have to do. Where's my phone? There's I can't find it. But my wallpaper is discipline is the most divine form of self-care.
We can probably put it up on the screen here. It'll be somewhere over there. You guys will see it.
But like when I first saw that quote, I was like, this is like I reread it 10 times. I'm like, discipline is the most divine form of self-care. And it's if you're not being disciplined for yourself, then what?
And it's like a respect thing too.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta respect yourself enough and care for yourself to do that.
To do that.
And other people see that too.
Yeah.
How guys, can you talk about your journey and how other people maybe have perceived you as you've gone along your health and fitness journey? I don't know. At least for me, I don't know if this is a direct correlation, but I got into modeling a little bit last year. But I also had a quote unquote slight glow up just because I started taking the gym a little bit more seriously. And I think people definitely notice. I think a big part of it is the inside kind of manifests itself outwardly as well. It's if you're going to the gym, you respect yourself, you're being disciplined, you're eating good food, healthy food, you're just making efforts to improve your life, you'll probably just be more confident, and other people will see that too.
Absolutely.
It's did you ever experience anything like that, or do you see that in other people? What do you think about that?
I definitely see it for myself. So I was saying when we first started talking about working out, I've been on a plan since summertime just because I was trying to get a little bit leaner. And I come from a foreign family, so like, people don't care to like not comment on your weight. They're like, oh my God, you lost so much weight. What have you been doing?
They're straightforward.
Yeah, completely straightforward. And it's good to hear. So it's good to hear, but it also like the more times you hear, like how many pounds did you lose? How many pounds did you lose? But it's, I mean, you tell them this and that, but they don't, I don't know like what I'm trying to say. They don't know
what it took.
Like
the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it's also like you were saying, like it's all like the internal stuff too. It's not just going to the gym, because you could go to the gym every single day and look the exact same if you're not taking care of yourself internally.
That's true.
And it's also what you were talking about, like the confidence you get. Like it's like an internal glow when you're when you're talking about your surroundings, like what you're listening to, what you're watching is like benefiting you in some type of way or form.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think like, so you do yoga, right? I know you mentioned it earlier. You kind of help other people maybe do some of that, or at least start their fitness journey, maybe just find an outlet when it comes to health and fitness. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Well, first, I've only been certified for a little over a year now.
Well, how do you even get certified? Hold on.
Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah.
My first year up here, I was down in Florida. I keep talking about Florida. I have a lot of family down there.
Florida's cool. I haven't been actually, but I've heard it's nice.
Oh, you're soon. You have.
Yeah, I want to go.
But I was down in Florida. I was just not having a good time.
Yeah.
They put us on. This was the year after COVID when we were back on campus. There was like another COVID outbreak. We were online for another month, so I just didn't go like on my ticket home. I just stayed in Florida.
So you're stuck in Florida, kind of.
Well, no, I canceled my ticket. I wanted to stay down there. My cousins were down there.
Who wouldn't want to stay down there? Right?
Especially in January. I'm like, absolutely not. And I was just like not having a good day. And I'm like, I'm going to walk to my cousin's house. It's like 3 miles away, 2.5 miles away.
Solid distance.
Yeah. But it was just like a slow walk. I wasn't running, jogging. I just needed to like clear my head.
Survive.
Yeah. And I'm going back to my house and I'm like scrolling on my phone. And I follow this yoga studio that's like right across my apartment building. It's called Soul Yoga. Shout out.
Soul Yoga.
In East Lansing.
Yeah. You should go.
And they're like, yoga teacher training, like reach out to us for details. And I'm like, right away, I like emailed them.
Right away.
Yeah. And it
was like an immediate conviction, like, I have to do this.
It was like, it felt like it was like a sign from God. I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
And I got on the phone with now my boss, she's the instructor, also the owner of the studio. And I'm like talking to her and I'm like super nervous. I'm like, is it all like old people that are like teaching these classes? And I had never even gone to the studio. I had just followed them because I'm like, eventually, like, I'll go. Yeah. Right. Like, I'm going to,
Like, you're going to make it happen.
Yeah. I don't know if that was just like me telling myself I was going to, just like, but.
Fast forward to now. No,
yeah. And I got on the phone with my teacher, was asking her a bunch of questions, ended up signing up. And that was like, it's 200 hours of training. I believe it was like roughly 6 months. Started in March, ended end of June.
200 hours. So this was like a job. Like you're practicing.
Well, and it was like 6 or 7 hours every Sunday, but you had to be like practicing throughout the week. We would get like assignments, we'd get homework, we had to like write up flows.
Oh, wow.
And it was a lot of
flows. Is that like routines? Or?
Yeah. Well, that's if any of you guys have ever been to a yoga class, it's kind of just like the structure, like what the teacher is teaching you.
Okay.
Kind of like the poses that you're going through, like the message of the class, the music. So that was like a big thing that we focused on, but that wasn't even the hardest part. The hardest part was we'd walk into class, we would like talk for a little bit, and we would drop right into meditation. And one time we meditated for a full hour. And now I'm a little bit more chill. But if you met me a few years ago, like me sitting still for more than like 20 minutes, I was just like,
that wasn't gonna happen.
No, absolutely not. So that was like one thing you like really like dove like internally, and that was the hardest part. There was like so much to learn about your own self. And
talking about meditation, actually, like, sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Like, I don't really meditate. Like, I guess, how do you even meditate? Can you like walk us through that?
Sit down. You could lay down. You could do whatever you want. Your body can be in whatever position you want. Close your eyes. You focus, and you're trying to clear your head, trying to like get rid of all your thoughts and focusing on your inhales and your exhales. And then like noticing like what pops into your head. At least this is how I meditate.
Like, so like breath work while also just like
Yeah.
trying to be, what do you want to be thinking about being calm or?
Calm, but you're also trying like not to think about anything. And
That
like,
can be
no,
hard.
it's extremely difficult. And noticing like what comes in your brain. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I meditate every single day because I don't. I try. I've like tried in the past. Like I said before, I struggle to like sit down and just relax.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a lot better at it. But I like I'll like no, I'm like, why is this person like, what, you know what I mean? Obviously this is like my subconscious, like what is bothering me about this, or like what's so good about this? Why do I keep thinking about it? And like taking note of that like afterwards, and then like kind of like using that like in your day-to-day life.
Do you journal at all?
Not like I do my 5-minute journal.
5-minute journal. Okay.
I'm not a big writer.
Interesting. I love writing personally. I don't like script these out, but like if I was to like do that, like I would enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I feel like
I've
journaling.
never been a big writer.
Never been a big writer. Is journaling and meditation? Do you ever see those paired together?
Absolutely. That's what during our training. That's what we had to do. We had to meditate every single day for 20 minutes, and we had to write like a little like sum up of like what came through our mind during meditation, like what we thought of it.
Yeah.
And I think those two are like two peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, you should be journaling. Like usually after I meditate, I'll write down like what came up. It's like a dream. Like if you don't, you know what I mean? If you're not like talking about it or thinking about it, like you
have to record stuff to like remember it. Like,
yeah, it's gonna leave your brain.
Yeah.
So
yeah, talking about like things people should be doing, like one thing maybe like more meditation journal. Just like try it out maybe. Like what are some other things do you think like people, maybe college students, you think should be doing? Because you have a variety of like people. So like Michigan State is the university. You guys already know this from past episodes. Check those out if you haven't already. But yeah, there's a lot of people here from like everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So with the diversity of people, do you see any things like people should be doing more? Maybe in like the health and fitness world specifically.
Yes, I'll go into that after, but I'm just gonna go back to meditation for a second.
Okay.
My cousin told me this. She was also my boss for a few years. She told me meditation is the only thing with 100% guaranteed results, and that has never left my brain.
Is that true?
Try it.
I guess.
Try it for a week, 20 minutes or 5 minutes every single day. See if you notice any differences.
Yeah.
But that's what she told me. Okay, things that people should be doing. Really focusing on what you're putting into your body, like food wise. That's one. I don't know. That's one thing I'm like super strong about. If you're putting garbage in your body, you're gonna feel like garbage, and and I get it. Eating healthy is very expensive.
Yeah.
And I am like very fortunate to be able to. I don't have to cover my own groceries.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, but
it helps. Like
absolutely.
To be able to just say, oh, I can just buy this. I think there are healthy options. It might take more work and research.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a piece of salmon is like $15. Like
salmon's expensive. I love salmon though.
Who's got money for a $15 piece of salmon?
Yeah.
But really paying attention to what you're putting in your body, like physically, mentally, yada yada.
Yeah.
Other things people should be doing. Drinking water. That's one thing.
Hydration.
Stay hydrated. That's I drink probably like a gallon or 2 gallons of water a day. I don't measure it, but I measured it. I was like, our like filter wasn't working, so I had to go buy gallon water bottles, and I was drinking like 2 of them a day. I'm like, am I just a psychopath?
Do you think it counts if someone drinks like, let's say someone's drinking like juice or like lemonade or soda or like even like something else or whatever it
doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
It has to be like straight up water.
Well, unless you're drinking like orange juice, it's like 100% oranges. That's different, but that's also not a liquid. That's like that's calories. So that's not that's not hydrating. That's not hydrating you.
Side note, you just reminded me of something. How do you feel about calories in, calories out? Have you heard that before?
Are you talking about like
for losing or gaining weight?
Well, that's how you that technically is how you lose weight. So like if we're going like, let's just say someone's eating 1,500 calories, or you're saying like they have to like burn like 1,600 to lose weight.
Yeah.
I've
heard mixed things.
I am not equipped in that area, so I honestly really don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really know because
your research. We'll be discussing that in a future episode.
I'm gonna have my laptop after this.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of the tests where you see how many calories you're burning on a day-to-day basis are extremely inaccurate. So how are you actually supposed to know?
How do you even measure that? Like, do you have like do you use any like technology?
I had an Apple Watch that when I was like super in shape, like when I was talking about like my hit days, when I was like super lean, whatever.
Yeah.
I had an Apple Watch, but I became obsessive. I'm like, how many calories am I burning during this workout? And it's obsessive. And I have a very like obsessive like personality.
And that
Like when I like something, I love it. And I kind of just had to like pull the watch off. I'm like, I need to get rid of this thing.
That's valid because like when you're obsessed about something, like you can lead to like burnout. Like in this case, like your body will literally burn out if you like push it past its limits, not to its limits, past its limits, right? If you don't take a break, your body will take one for you. So make sure you rest. I like that, by the way.
The fact that you just said burnout, this is another thing.
Yeah.
Of things you should be doing or things you should not be doing. Do not allow yourself to get to that point.
Yeah. That's such a common thing for college students.
When I was talking about when I was like doing like my yoga teacher training, and I say like it was difficult because I had undergone like the most like internal like I like overcame like the most like the hardest internal battles that I've like ever gone through. I was working, I was a manager at a restaurant in Ann Arbor, my cousin's restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was doing my yoga teacher training and I was also taking 2 summer classes. Like I had never managed a restaurant before, never done yoga teacher training.
You're starting so many different things at once. Kind of like this, but I'm trying to take this slow.
Yeah, it was I just like told I'm like I could do everything, you know what I mean? Like the more things I'm doing, the better, which is in reality it's if you don't have control over like everything.
Yeah.
It's just not. And this was my second to last day of yoga teacher training. I had missed the week before. I slept through. Woke up this day, showed up an hour late because I slept through my alarm again.
Yeah.
And I like walk and I just start bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am so sorry. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, I have so many priorities, but I have not prioritized a single one. Because and then it's also like I was in East Lansing. I was in Ann Arbor. My family lives in Macomb.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm getting calls from my mom like, why are you not coming home? Why are you not coming home? And it's like I want to come home, but like I have other things to do.
Yeah.
And it's also like I had class in East Lansing on Thursday. So I was in East Lansing Thursday and Sunday for yoga. And then I was working Wednesday to Saturday.
And it's like with all those things, you still have to eat, sleep.
Yeah.
Like
no, I was sleeping like 4 hours a night.
Yeah,
that was like the worst. I like apologized to like everyone. I'm like, I'm so sorry you met me at the time. When everyone that summer, I'm like, I am so sorry. Like that was not obviously that's not that that's not a version of me that I want you to meet, but like that wasn't.
I mean, people go through phases, and
yeah, it was
some phases like people are just going through stuff. Like my sophomore year, I was doing like I counted at one point like I had like 13 different commitments, and there's no way I was committing to all those properly.
Yeah.
I think phases like that, they're cool to like test things out and like find your limits.
I think they're necessary. Just one. I really hope that never happens again. I like if we're talking like more like science. I literally messed up my entire gut that summer. And that's kind of like how I'm like, oh, let me go back.
Yeah.
What were you saying about?
I was just saying like it's cool to like know your limits and be able to test them sometimes.
Yeah.
But definitely learn from those experiences and like don't stress yourself out again.
So after the summer, after I stopped working, my summer classes were done, I moved back up here and I was kind of just like I wasn't fully teaching yoga yet. I was still like working on finishing like my assignments. You have like up to a year after to like get fully certified. So I was just taking it slow. I started working with a gut health coach. My skin had like never been so bad in my entire life. I never struggled with like acne.
Your skin looks great right now, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I never struggled with like anything
Practice
like
what you
skin
preach.
yeah. And I like would always just feel like Ooh, I keep doing that.
That's okay.
I always just felt like garbage. I would go home. I have a really big family. I have a lot of cousins. That is like my favorite thing to do is hang out with my cousins. They know that too.
Yeah.
But I had no passion to like do anything anymore. I literally just wanted to sleep. And I'm like, something is wrong with me. My mom's like, let's go to the doctors. Let's go to the doctors. I was like, no, I think it's like something else. So I started seeing like a holistic gut health coach.
Okay.
She helped me through a lot. And like one big thing I learned was boundaries. You have to set boundaries with other people for yourself and also with yourself for yourself.
That goes
if
back
that
to the
makes
respect
sense.
thing though too.
Yeah, I was like I was being so mean to myself.
Yeah.
Like I would just look at myself in the mirror, like what what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I completely overworked myself. That was that phase of my life I never want to go back to. But I learned so much about my own self, about other people.
That's really good that you
the
say
way I
that.
interact.
Because imagine going through all that and not learning anything.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No, there's no way I was walking out of there without learning anything. But I learned so much about like even like relationships with other people. I like got involved with like people, like friends, other types of relationships that I'm like, I'm like leaning to these people because I feel helpless. And it's like because I'm like trying to like fill this void.
Yeah.
And it was just completely unfair to myself, completely unfair.
They're like
to
built
those
off the wrong like base.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like especially when I was in Ann Arbor, I was hanging out with people, like a lot of like coworkers, and it's like, do I actually enjoy hanging out with these people, or is it just because I'm like lonely? Like what's going on here?
Yeah.
And that was like one of the biggest things I had to learn. I'm like, you have to learn to live with yourself. I love being by myself.
Yeah.
And I always have. But
That's so important.
Yeah. But when I was there, it's like the fact that I didn't like, that was my only option to be by myself. I like was like forcing myself to like go out and hang out with other people just to like fill that void, I guess you could say. But
and like going back to the thing too, it's also like it's a privilege to be able to hang out just with yourself, and it's a privilege to be able to hang out with other people. When you're able to like balance both, you get to like see both in their best like form, maybe.
Yeah, balance is the biggest thing. That's another thing that everyone should be doing. Focus on balance. Figure out your priorities, and go from there. Like what's most important to you. Yeah. And you have to, if you and your own like health, like physical, mental, and like emotional health are like not at the top of the list, you have to rearrange something. Because if you're not at your best, how do you expect to give other people that?
Thanks. Yeah.
That's one thing I like tell all my friends. It's like if I'm like not at my best, not that I like don't want to hang out with you guys, but I feel rude. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give you my best self. Like why would you guys ever want to be around me if I'm not? Whatever.
Exactly. And like vice versa too. Like you want the best of other people too. It's like everyone just like take care of yourself. Like come on.
And even when I like talk about relationships, I never say anything to these people, but I see people like getting out of a relationship, getting into another one right away. And it's number one, you have to learn to be by yourself. And number two, if you don't love yourself to the moon and back, how the hell do you expect to love anybody else?
That's facts.
Or to have somebody else love you like that? Because everyone craves love. Everyone, you know what I mean? Everyone loves attention, whether you deny it or not. That's just natural human instinct.
Like love is one of those things like everyone wants love.
Yeah, and but if you don't love yourself, how do you expect anyone else to love you?
Yeah.
And there's some people that are like gonna like unconditionally love you and like no matter what phase of your life you're at. But I think in terms of like not even like searching for someone, but like getting into like new relationships when you're like in a period like that, I don't think that's fair to yourself or the other person. And that was one of the biggest lessons I learned when I was in Ann Arbor.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thanks for that. I was about to like spur some more questions. This is about to turn into a relationship podcast real quick. I guess do you have some more things you want to talk about? I have a few more questions here.
Yeah, knock yourself out. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the phrase is.
I guess, what would you like tell your past self, if anything? So like kind of like we talked about like what we would like tell other people maybe.
What would I tell my pet?
What would you tell yourself?
Slow the fuck down. Slow down.
Okay.
Slow down. Nobody's in a rush. You're rushing yourself. And this is another big thing I'm trying to incorporate now. I always used to, I'm still always on the go. I love being all over the place. Not all over the place, but I like trying to make it to everywhere that I can.
Yeah.
Especially because there's always stuff going on. But if you're going to be late, and just be late. You know what I mean? There's no reason to be not even speeding in the car, but you work yourself up when you're getting ready. I'm doing my hair. I gotta do this and that, so I'm not late.
You're stressing yourself out.
If you're gonna be late, you're gonna be late. Leave it at that. And that's
so it's that's an acceptance thing. I think that's cool.
Yeah. And that was even it was funny. I was talking to my dad the other day. I don't even know how it came into question. I was like, I don't rush anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't rush anymore.
It's so weird how I feel like that too. Like literally, if I'm late, I'm gonna be late, and it's actually peaceful when you just accept it.
Yeah, but accepting it is so hard.
That's true.
It's so hard to accept at first. Like I would tell people, like I have like the worst reputation like amongst my cousins of like being late. Like they'll say like be there at this time, always like at least like 5 minutes.
Yeah. No,
There's like I always get those memes sent to me. It's like send this to one person that you.
So you're that person, or everyone sends that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm a lot better at it now, and now I'll just like communicate. So I used to be like, I'll be there in 5 when I'm like 20 minutes away.
No,
but now,
okay, that's
but now
another
I just
thing,
say
though.
I'm
That's so
20.
funny.
I'm 20 minutes away. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
Like, if I need to meet you there, I'll meet you there.
Because no, that's so funny to bring up. I feel like I've done the exact same thing. It's
Yeah.
like I'll underestimate the time that it takes to get to some place, and that also causes me to be late because I'm like misrepresenting it.
Yeah.
And that's like another thing of like accepting just like, okay, if I'm actually gonna be 30 minutes late, I should say that instead of saying 15 minutes, because then it just like sets it up for failure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're worked up in your head because then you're looking at your GPS and it says you're gonna be there at like 3:20, and you told them 3:15, so you're trying to cut time off the GPS, but it just doesn't work like it just doesn't work like that. And so the biggest thing I would tell myself is slow down.
Slow down. Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm still working on now.
Yeah.
It's not there's so many you could do a million things in a day, every single day. But if you I don't know where I was going with that. You could do a million things in a day.
I'm about to cough here real quick. Excuse me.
I just lost my train of thought. But slow down. That's the one piece of advice that I have for myself in the past. And honestly, people told me to slow down. I'd be like, I don't know, who do you think you're talking to? Like, I got this. I can do all of this.
Keep going.
Taking a water break. Bless or cough. People would tell me to slow down. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have even taken my own advice because if I was telling myself that, I'd probably be like, you don't know what I'm capable of. And we are capable of so much, but there's a certain point when we reach a limit and we need to like know like before we get there by like setting boundaries. So like one thing I learned working with my gut health coach is like when I like started to see myself like spiraling down, I was able to catch myself. And it's like recognition is like such a huge thing. So yeah, being able to recognize where you are.
Okay, I almost just died there. Sorry.
That's okay.
But I'm back. That's huge. Self-awareness too.
Self-awareness. Well, that's when I was saying recognition, it's self-awareness, knowing what your brain's going through, what your mind's going through, what your body's going through, and being able to, and like recognition, it's also, I think self-awareness is huge with the way you react to like other things.
Do you think like being alone kind of helps with that? Like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Drives alone, sitting in your bed alone, staring at the ceiling, just doing like taking yourself on dates. Like I love going to the farmer's market as much as I love going with other people. I love walking around by myself. Just like appreciating like the little things in life, and through that you learn a lot about yourself.
Awesome.
And also through yoga, like yoga classes, there's a lot of moments of silence. And yeah.
My last question before we end up wrapping up the podcast. I really appreciate you being on today, by the way.
Of course, I've been having fun. I feel like
Yeah.
it's rambling.
No, that's the whole point, kind of. Looking for the future. So we kind of talked about the past, the present, what's going on. Do you have any plans for the future, like that you want to share? Maybe don't share everything.
My end goal. Let's just talk like.
Well, you're about to graduate.
Right down the line. Yeah, I'm about to graduate. I'm not entering the corporate world. Ooh.
Yeah.
People keep asking me that you don't have a job lined up after graduation. I'm like, nope. And then they look at me like I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
But it's just everyone's meant for different things. And I have such like a passion for like health and fitness and all things just like well-being and lifestyle that I feel like I'd be wasting my potential going into like the corporate field. So I definitely do want to open up like a gym of some sort.
That's
Combining,
so cool.
like group exercise classes, and like the end goal is like a bigger a bigger gym with like a bunch of amenities, but a bunch of different group workout classes, more like luxury for like higher end clientele.
Yeah,
But
I fully support that.
yeah, and the biggest thing with that is like I feel like we're going full circle now. It all goes back to community. I want to like be able to make a difference in wherever in the world that I'm at, like community wise, because that's how you grow with community. And like we were talking about, like you go to the gym, you see someone you know, and just like creating a family with that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, creating like gyms are like literally community centers. And I think the fact that you're like looking to do that in the future, like you're literally doing things right now that set you up for that too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess, can you talk about that? Like, what are some things you've learned that could be in school, out of school, that you think that will aid that like vision of like opening this gym? Like for when you're like a yoga instructor.
Well, even before I signed up for my training, like number one, I thought it was like a sign from God. I'm like, this is just gonna like fix my life. But also I've had this dream like probably since like end of high school that I wanted to open up a gym.
Nice.
So like, but even before I like signed up for my training, I was like this, like whether or not I teach yoga, because I wasn't even initially planning on teaching when I signed up for training.
Yeah.
I kind of just wanted to learn more about it. I'm like, this is gonna supplement me like in the future. And I think like the biggest thing is just taking opportunities as they come. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna going to school and like being in like a completely different like community, like Michigan State, like a college community. It opens up a lot of doors, but it's also you have to take that jump and like take those.
You have to take the opportunities that
Yeah,
you need to.
take those risks.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, yoga teacher training is not cheap. It's expensive, and I was like fully. I'm like, I'm paying for this out of my own pocket, and it was, but there was like what I like got from it is greater than any amount of money.
The benefits are greater than the cost.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you actually brought up opening a gym, because like I literally had like a vision for that like late last year, like early this year.
Yeah.
Like kind of over the summer, actually. That's like the perfect timing for it. And I don't even have all the details. Like right now, this lifestyle diaries thing, it's paired with a fitness business. If I did not tell you guys before, go back to like the first, second episode, and it's like all in there. I don't know.
To watch your first few episodes.
Yeah, I don't. Well, they're still coming out on a weekly basis. Mondays at 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you probably don't know this, but this is paired with like a fitness business, helping people who like are not in fitness at all and like taking that first step, right? And so a big part of that is to kind of like, I want to like get set up into the fitness, kind of fitness business world, but just like really the fitness and health world as well. Cause like, I think that's a really important thing. I'm really passionate about it, and it's really important in everyone's lives. So I don't know if that looks like me creating a gym. Maybe it looks like me creating like a lifestyle podcast like right now. But my goal is to help other people who want to get into the gym. So yeah, I think it's really cool that you want to do that. Right now, I'm trying to be certified as a personal trainer.
Are you doing your training right now?
I do have started it, yeah. It costs a good amount of money, but like, as you said, I hope it'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah. Whether or not you're actively doing it, it's just like the knowledge that you have.
Yeah.
It's because then it all goes back to like self-awareness. At least you know for yourself. You're not giving that knowledge to other people. At least you know.
Yeah, like I see it as like a big like personal and like professional, not to be generic, like development thing too. So yeah.
I'm trying to. The question that you asked was like, what else have I learned?
Or like what else? Like what does the future look like? Oh, you're talking about the question.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. Or no, you were like
in your classes.
Yeah, you said like, what have I? College is a scam. I'm good.
I mean, low key.
You have to talk to other people, because even like the way I met you, you know what I mean? Like we met each other through, like.
Technically, it was through
Vim and through doing like a club, like through, like a smaller like interest that we like both had. Yeah. Talking to people and not being afraid to like go up to people. And
it was so random though, because like I think I just like, if you didn't post on social media though, like if you didn't have the whole like Ava Vushaj, like do I say Vushaj? I'm so sorry. Vushaj.
Yeah. There we go.
How do you say it?
Vushaj. Yeah.
Okay. Should have sorted that out before this. But like your whole like yoga page, right? Like if I didn't see that, I wouldn't have known that you did that. So like putting yourself out there is a big thing too. and like talking, communicating.
And it's also, but it's not even like necessarily talking to people like in that industry, because you don't really know. Like even like you talk to people in class, you get to know them on like, not on like a deeper level than like school, but like, I don't, like you guys should not only be talking about your assignments.
Yeah, like
Like it's a, like
people are so complex. There's so many things going on.
that's like humans are so complex. That's one of like my favorite hobbies is meeting new people. I swear, I love meeting new people. It's just getting to know them, getting to know about like their story, even if it's like a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, I think it's such a beautiful thing, and it's so like refreshing to know that, like you were saying, everyone's so different, but like we all have like, I feel like we not that we all have the same vision, but we all want the same things in life.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we could wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Ava, for joining us today on another episode of Lifestyle Diaries. If you guys haven't yet, please follow, subscribe, download this if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast. And
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
I think we'll see you next episode. So see you guys.
Bye, guys.